I'm sure you had tough days where it feels like you're just unlucky, like everyone is blaming or targeting you, and no matter how dedicated you are working on something or how passionate you're about it, things just don't seem to go the way you want, leaving you frustrated and drained. Even the smallest setbacks hit you harder than they should, and it makes you even wonder, how do some people stay calm and strong no matter what comes their way? This feeling might even make you want to give up, thinking that these strong people are just born that way, have better luck, or possess some sort of innate skill. But before you make any more excuses or start braining your luck, let me tell you the truth. Even in tough situations, when everything seems to be falling apart, you can maintain your cool and stay calm. And it's not some sort of secret superpower. It's a skill that you can start developing today. And that skill is mental resilience. In this video, I will show you 5 simple, actionable ways to build your mental resilience, including the common problems that hold people back, how you can overcome them, and the steps that you can take to strengthen your mental resilience and handle life's challenges with confidence. And make sure to stick until the end of the video, because I've got a bonus tip that could completely change the way how you deal with stress. So let's start with the first step to building mental resilience, focusing on consistency and not perfection. One of the biggest obstacles to building mental resilience is the pressure to be perfect. It's easy to get caught up in the idea that if you can't do something flawlessly, it's not worth doing at all. But here's the truth. Perfectionism is not just unrealistic, it's paralyzing. The problem is that when you aim for perfection, you often set yourself up for failure. Studies show that nearly 30% of people procrastinate because they fear that their work won't meet their own high standards, and the result is overthinking, frustration, and eventually feeling stuck. And the frustration that follows can make you want to give up altogether. So what is the solution? Consistency. Instead of focusing on doing everything perfectly, focus on just showing up every single day. Even if it's just for 5 minutes, whether it's for journaling, exercising, or meditating, the key is to build a streak and make it a habit. Take Serena Williams, for example. Even as one of the greatest tennis players of all time, she often emphasizes showing up to practice consistently, rather than obsessing over a perfect game. And this mindset of consistency instead of perfection is what keeps her grounded. For example, instead of trying to write the perfect journal entry, just jot down 3 things that you're grateful for. Or instead of doing a full-blown workout, start with 5 minutes of stretching. The idea is to prioritize progress over perfection. Starting small and staying consistent doesn't just apply to building mental resilience. It's a principle that works universally, whether you are improving relationships, advancing in your career, or developing a new skill. Consistency builds momentum, and momentum is what creates lasting change. Over time, these small, consistent efforts will strengthen your mental resilience without the stress of chasing perfection. Now that we've talked about staying consistent, let's move to something just as important: how comparisons can hold you back. Don't compare yourself to others. Now listen, it's natural to look around and see where you stand, but comparison is a trap that often leads to frustration. When you measure your progress against others, you're more likely to feel that you are not doing enough or feel discouraged, even when you're doing it all fine and making progress in your own way. The real problem is social media and even everyday conversations that only show the highlights of people's lives. You don't see their struggles, only their successes. Study by the Royal Society for Public Health found that 70% of young people feel that their self-esteem is negatively affected by social media, and this makes it one of the leading causes for negativity in terms of self-comparison. The solution to all of this is focusing on your own journey. Shift your attention from what others are doing to how far you have come. One way to do this is to practice gratitude for your own growth. Take a moment each day to acknowledge even the smallest wins. These could be finishing a task you've been putting off, making time for self-care, or simply just showing up despite challenges. Now, for example, write down just one thing that you've improved this week. It could be as simple as cooking a meal, learning a new skill, or just getting out of bed on a tough day. This keeps your focus on your own growth and not on somebody else's life. Even successful people like the Olympic swimmer Michael Phelps has talked about how comparison almost derailed his career. He once said that it's easy to look at somebody else's lane and forget to swim your own race. So just remind yourself that their path is not yours. Your journey is unique, and focusing on your progress is the best way to build confidence and mental resilience. So next up, let's talk about something that many of us struggle with: how to stop taking things personally. Now, taking things personally is one of the quickest ways to drain your mental resilience. Whether it's a criticism from a colleague or a negative comment online, it's easy to let somebody else's words affect your confidence and mood. And most of the time though, it's not even about you. People often project their own insecurities, frustrations, or stress onto others. For instance, a coworker snapping at you or a client being unusually harsh might have to do more with what they are going through than anything that you have personally done. The best way is to pause for a moment before reacting. Instead of immediately feeling hurt or defensive, take a moment and ask yourself, is this really about me, or could it be about their own situation? And this question can help you to see their actions for what they really are, a reflection of their own struggles and not yours. For example, if a client is overly critical about a project, consider the possibility that they are under tight deadlines or pressure from their boss. It doesn't excuse poor behavior, but it helps you avoid internalizing. Here's a mental trick that you can try. Whenever you face negativity, imagine that their words or actions are just passing clouds in the sky. You notice them, but you let them drift by without holding on to them. It might sound simple, but this practice can create a huge shift in how you process criticism or negativity. The psychologist Dr. Brené Brown, known for her work on vulnerability and resilience, emphasizes this idea as well. She points out that separating yourself from others' judgments allows you to focus on your own truth rather than getting caught up in the external noise. Learning not to take everything personally doesn't just mean ignoring all feedback. It simply means discerning what's constructive and letting go of what's not. By doing this, you will protect your mental space and build a stronger, more resilient mindset. Now, the next thing that we're going to be talking about is building trust in yourself through small, consistent actions. It's normal to doubt yourself when things get tough. You might start questioning whether you're capable of handling challenges, and that self-doubt can grow every time you hesitate or hold yourself back. But confidence doesn't come naturally. It's something that you build over time, and the best way to do that is through small, consistent actions that prove yourself that you are capable. Start by setting one achievable goal for the day. It doesn't have to be anything big. Maybe it's finishing the task that you've been avoiding, going for a short walk, or keeping a promise that you made to yourself. The important thing is to follow through. Each time you do that, you are reinforcing the belief that you can rely on yourself. For example, J.K. Rowling didn't achieve success overnight. She faced rejection from 12 different publishers before Harry Potter became a global phenomenon. Instead of giving up, she focused on taking one step at a time, rewriting, improving, and resubmitting her manuscript. Her consistent efforts built the resilience and the trust in herself to keep going. So just like in the case of Harry Potter, small wins add up, and the more that you follow through on your own goals, no matter how minor they seem, the more confident you will feel in your own ability to handle bigger challenges. So start small, but stay consistent, and over time you will notice that how each one of your actions helps you build trust in yourself and strengthen your mental resilience. Now let's talk about one other key aspect of building mental resilience: changing the way you approach challenges and reframing the way you think. Sometimes the biggest challenge is not the situation itself, it's how you perceive it. Negative thoughts can make a tough situation feel impossible, even when it's manageable. Now, the problem is that when you focus on what's wrong, your brain amplifies those feelings of frustration or defeat. Studies show that people who regularly practice reframing their thoughts report a 23% increase in their problem-solving abilities, as they are better equipped to view challenges objectively. And the solution to all of this is changing your perspective. Start looking at challenges not as obstacles, but as opportunities to grow. Instead of thinking that this is so hard, try asking yourself that what can this teach me? This supple shift in mindset can make a huge difference in how you approach difficult situations. Let's take Elon Musk as an example. Whether facing production delays at Tesla or financial struggles at SpaceX, he's often said that every failure is an opportunity to innovate and improve. And his ability to reframe obstacles as stepping stones has been key to his success. So here's how you can put this into action. The next time something feels overwhelming, write down one positive outcome that could come out from it. For example, maybe a challenging project at work teaches you a new skill, or a personal setback helps you become more empathic. When you start reframing situations in this way, you will notice that challenges don't feel as daunting, and over time this practice will help you approach difficulties with a calmer, more resilient mindset. And finally, let's talk about our bonus tip. And this one brings everything together and can help you approach challenges with more clarity and confidence. You know, when life feels overwhelming, it's often because we are trying to control things that are simply out of our hands. Whether it's worrying about other people's opinions, unexpected setbacks, or things beyond our influence, this mindset can leave you feeling anxious and powerless. The truth is, mental resilience comes from recognizing what you can control and letting go of what you cannot. A study published in the Psychological Science found that individuals who focused on controllable aspects of their lives experienced 22% lower stress levels compared to those who were fixated on things beyond their own control. So this simple shift can dramatically improve your own mental well-being. So here's how you can apply this. When you're feeling overwhelmed, just grab a piece of paper and create two columns. Label 1, things I can control, and label 2, things I cannot. For example, the things that you can control is your attitude, your response to challenges, your daily habits, and the things that you can't control are other people's opinions, past mistakes, and unpredictable events. Now, once you've written it down, focus your energy entirely on the first column and consciously release the mental weight of the second. This simple exercise can help you shift your focus and feel more empowered. Now, take the example of Michael Jordan. Throughout his career, he famously focused on controlling his preparation, effort, and attitude, even when facing defeat or criticism. He understood that worrying about referees or crowd reactions wouldn't change the outcome, but his hard work and mental focus would. Remember, life will always throw uncertainties your way, but by channeling your energy into what's within your power, you're not only handling stress more effectively, but you're also building unshakable mental resilience. So there you have it, all the key steps to start building mental resilience. But don't forget, this is a journey and not a destination. Some days you will feel it unstoppable, and other days will test your patience, and that's okay. What truly matters is that you keep showing up and moving forward. Now, if you found this video valuable, make sure that you give it a thumbs up, share it with someone who might benefit, and subscribe for more tips on personal growth and resilience. Remember, resilience is built one step at a time, and I'll see you in the next one.